is, first of all, it can spot a Warp Prism coming across. He has control of the Watchtower. Nothing is going to be a secret right now. He has time to prepare. And if he doesn't see anything until it comes to the Watchtower, then he can use the Liberator for backstab potential. So there's a lot to be said about this. You see that as soon as that Liberator is seen, Zest places the correct pylon to protect his mineral line. And this is a scary push. This is not an all-in, but it is going to be, it's deadly force. If there are any mistakes, any cracks in Taja's defense, he dies and the game ends and the series ends.
Immediate overcharge. He knew that was coming a mile away. Looks like he may have even had an observer over there, but he knew that Liberator was there, as you were saying. And Zest is just taking it pretty slow. Even though he makes a large number of Stalkers, he's not overcommitting to the attack. He adds 2 Forges, and he's continuously making probes, so it's not all in. He just wanted to get a big mass of units early on. And yeah, I mean, it's good against defending against any pushes. You could also follow up with 1-1 in the Resonating Glaives. You know, here on out, just warp in a bunch of Adepts instead of Stalkers, and you have those Stalkers for the Liberators in the fight anyway.
It's kind of a fake out, right? I mean, it really leads Taja to believe that he needs to be on the defensive, whereas a base is actually on the way. This is a huge commitment to drops. These units are out of position. And he could really commit to this. The Observer is coming up here.
Look at this.
He will see this, it looks like. Oh my goodness, just barely.
Scouts it all.
That's huge. So this gives him the advance notice that he needs. He also will know if these units pick up again and go for the boost, unless this Observer is sniped and killed. The double Forges are active, going 1-1, Glaives. He should see this. Should scan this now. Ooh, he doesn't see.
That's right.
This is a big problem.
There, yeah. Not quite paying attention. And look at this. Because of that vision, he has all of his units in position. There's no way Taja can push across that bridge, and that's another feature of the map. Now he knows he was spotted because the units were in position, scans and takes that out. But yeah. Zest has already gotten so far ahead, as you were saying. It's a move to just, you can take map control, scare the Terran, and take an early third base at the same time, and that's exactly where Zest is at in this game.
They're still pretty competitive when it comes to worker count. Only 3 ahead is Zest currently. And the third base for Taja will be completed soon. He can move that over to the third. And he has a large Terran army. But with his Stalker count, the Liberators are not going to be very effective unless they are sieged basically better than perfect. So taking a fight out here is really risky. I don't know about this.
1-1 completes as Taja's army runs into the Protoss. And he knows, man, he's going to back off immediately. He's like, no, I can't take that fight.
And there's no reason for Zest to try to force it yet either. He's going to try to force a lift on this third CC. Let's see if this works out. He will get down this ramp. That's one of the scarier moments. Oh, and they're just passing each other here. This will definitely be a big win for Zest, I'd say. Taja out of position, and this is going to be not only a forced lift, but probably a dead orbital with this many Stalkers. Nice tight wall.
He wants to commit, though, to the fight. Now all the Adepts are over here, and the Liberators actually zone out the Stalker, so now it's only Adepts over here in front of this wall.
Very well done. They're about to shade, but not quickly enough. There's the shade. The orbital did die as well off screen, so it's not around, but if he can wipe this whole army, he can counterwise kill the base to the left side. Liberation zones get planted here. Down goes the Immortal. Zest is going to just straight up fight this, but this is too much bio. 20 SCVs going down. Meanwhile, in the main base, to those Adepts that shaded, he needs to kill this Protoss army and then counterattack, or he may be out of luck because he's got no third CC and he's got no economy, down to 39 SCVs. Gonna kill this Warp Prism, which means he can go straight across the map. He has no threat of the counterattacks, or is he gonna get baited?
Oh, that was so close. Zest, though, is gonna back off after being spotted by the bio, and it looks like that Warp Prism is going to go down.
And he's just gonna keep pushing it with the Warp Prism dead. He knows there's no threat of counter Warp-ins. He's cleaned up the Adepts back at home. This is a huge opportunity for Taja now. He's moving across the map. So many of his units are so low, he needs to heal these up before the fight.
And at the same time, Zesty still has that third base and so much production back at home. He's even confident enough to start a fourth base. He's fine with this. This map is big enough that Zesty's delayed the push for so long that he's actually okay from here. He's going to use his Stalkers to snipe units now.
Grabs a single Liberator without losing one Stalker there. Very well done. Really slows the push down, hurts it. He's even looking for forcing these to siege up. That's the big thing. That's going to buy him so much time. Big scanner. He wants the whole army. Big zones being planted here. Zest does not want to fight this. He just wants to buy time. SCVs are off the line coming with this push. He is super all in right now. Tasia needs to win this or his StarCraft 2 career is over. This may be the last time you see him. He's now sieging up these Liberators moving forward here. Every second that Zest buys is more time for more warp-ins, more units, and better positioning.
And he's so good at it, too. He forces the siege up, as you were saying. He snipes unit after unit.
Oh, the time warp here could trap Tasia's units. Looks like he's not going to commit to it.
Doesn't commit. Look at all the SCVs in here, too. He wants this so bad. This is his only chance to fight. And Zest, he never commits. He's like, no, come up my ramp first, then I'll fight you.
Yeah, he's never going to attack into liberation zones. And if this army goes too far up the ramp, the Stalkers blink in and kill them. Very careful sieging up here for Tasia, but again, every second that goes by is a big win for Zest. Now, moving forward here, targeting down those Adepts. Watch out for force fields, too. He's going to catch those Liberators on the right side. There's a few bio units here, but the liberation zones are not getting their full value.
They aren't really. There aren't too many Stalkers, though, trying to come from behind. Now he goes for the
He doesn't have enough anti-air, does he? He's got Stalkers on the right side.
Close. He's trying
I actually think he has enough.
The bio is so huge. He might actually be able to take this fight.
He is going to take it. He's going to take this fight. Stalkers blink forward. They're trying to get out of liberation zones and work towards him. Bringing in more Stalkers. Does he have enough? Two Liberators left.
So close. It's
the last Stalker blinks around. He has enough anti-air. This bio is going down. But Tasia has a lot more than this back at home. These medevacs can allow him to escape here as well. He's going to target down this prism, and this pushes it over. More Stalkers coming over to the left side here.
The Liberators are all alone. He couldn't get those reinforcements over to the Liberators in time.
He just doesn't have enough economy. He doesn't have enough units. 20 army supply, 8 of it is in the medevacs. He has 12 army supply of units. He's now getting caught here. He almost broke the back of Zest.
That was so close. That was about as close as he could have made it with what he had. A very nice chance there, a very nice try by Tasia, but it looks like he's
moving to the island. He wants to try to make this a longer game. Very unrealistic, I'd say, but you know, it's his last game, perhaps, that we ever see him play. And I keep highlighting this because, I mean, listen, you will float to the island when it's that time.
You got to give it a shot, man. You got to give it a shot.
0 income in gas and minerals to 2,200 and the 800 gas of Zest, who's now sitting comfortably on 4 bases. And the production tab, like you said earlier in this group, sometimes just really tells the full story. This one Stalker will come over here, scout this base out, and even potentially prevent mining.
Well, he's not going to see this air base, or rather the island base, for just a bit, as he doesn't have too much in the air.
Tasia, with all this money that he's gained from the mules, you can see his mineral income is almost comparable at this point with all the mules just dropped.
Yeah.
If he can get enough Liberators, maybe he can get another one of those fights. Sometimes Terrans win games in this matchup. Bravo is like the biggest proponent of this, where the Protoss just doesn't quite have enough anti-air. His composition wasn't managed correctly, and you win games like that. I don't think this is going to be that game, but we'll see if he can pull off a miracle here.
Definitely will be a miracle at this point. We were talking about that all-in push. He lost so many of his SCVs in that push, and man, he made it about as close as it could have been. He nearly wiped out that Protoss army many times.
Look at this overcharge wall that's set up here. He's expecting this move, and he's going to get it. He's thinking one step ahead. Tasia committing here. Let's see how quickly he overcharges. He's already looking, he pays attention, but this pylon will be targeted down very quickly. These forges are exposed. Liberation zones well placed here. The mothership goes down as well. This looks like it's going to be a base trade.
Does he have that dark shrine?
I don't think so, not this time.
I think he's got to build that ASAP. He still has 3 other bases here. There's not that many units in his main.
He has liberation zones too.
Here, yeah.
This is going to be tough for Zest to attack into. And he doesn't have enough to deal with this push. That's going to empower so many of his gateways. 8 gateways are about to be empowered from 2 pylons. Goodbye, Artosis here. And now this Terran army has trapped the Protoss. This is a winnable game for Tasia. This could be a miracle. There goes Tasteless, Brendan. And now all those gateways are empowered. He's going to lose his entire army. And Tasia can come back and win this game. He's going to go after the Stalkers.
He's chasing the Stalkers now. That War Prism being alive is so important, though. He's got some other gateways somehow on the map right now.
He needs to replace those pylons if he can. This army is still doing damage in the main. Okay, replacing gateways now at his 4th base. Tasia wiping out these pylons. This is it for both these players. Loser is eliminated. Oh, he's got so much money, but he just can't spend it. This is Taja's opportunity, but he has to go now. If those gateways finish, then Taja will be finished here in this game. He has double the army supply right now of Zest, and this is his opportunity to go.
Zest is flipping out, by the way. He's making 2 cyber cores, 9 gateways. He needs to get this online. He can't just lose the cybernetic score and then lose his production.
He doesn't know about
this.
the island base. He doesn't know about it. He's not pressuring it. He's sending units over here. This is not where the SCVs are. The SCVs are at the island. Taja's got control of this location here.
And he's found the gateways. He's found the gateways, and there's only 2 pylons again.
Sniping
and he
him
can take this out.
And this is going to be game, I think. Taja just, he cannot, his army will never be defeated because Zest can't get gateways up.
How is this
happening?
happening?
He has 3,000 minerals when he can't spend any of them.
Unbelievable.
This is the miracle Taja was looking for. And I mean, I think this might just be it. How can he come back?
Look at the units. Look at the units. There's no way Zest can take any kind of fight here against Taja in this game.
There's no way. There's just no way.
He's going to try. It's his only shot. He has no production. He's making 1 stalker.
He doesn't have a Dark Shrine. I mean, this is one of the reasons why this Dark Shrine is so popular right now. The defending GSL champion is about to get knocked out when a player's announced his retirement. All the Stalkers can do is blink away. The gateway's finally finished here, but only 4 of them. 3 Stalker Warping is the answer, but it's not going to be enough. These gateways will be removed, and Taja sighs a breath of relief. He will advance to that final match. There's nothing that he can do.
Some way he's pulled this off, Wolf. It's unbelievable.
I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. This game
Still
will
no
go down in
scout.
history.
Still no scout on the island base.
Everyone will remember this moment. When he got the island base, he built an army. He unpowered those gateways. Zest made a mistake when he decided to commit to the attack instead of defending. And it's going to cost him this game.
Look at this.
Oh, the mule money.
Mule money in human form. There it is. Bunch of Marines.
And here you go. He's going to try to fight this half of Taja's army, but even with this meager amount of Stalkers, the Marines will get a decent trade. The Prism goes down. There's no gateways anyways. Look at Taja's face. GG!
GG! Taja, he's done it! He's done it! He's taken out Zest! And he's going to have another chance here going into the final game against Ryung.
This is insane! This player weeks ago announced that this would be his final tournament. This is going to be his last GSL. Player's been around here for about 5 years.
He can't even believe it himself. Look at his face. He's like, how did I do this? Huge sigh of relief and just happiness, true happiness on this guy's face.
And the defending GSL champion who brought this player into his group will now have the regret of that choice for the rest of his life as he is now knocked out of the GSL.
This is something out of a fairy tale. He chooses Ryung and then he switches Taja in and he gets knocked out by both players.
Both of the players he asked for.
How does that happen?
This, like you said, it feels like a fairy tale. It feels like a dream. But the dream comes true for Taja, but he's not out of this yet. He has to face Ryung, a TVT monster, in that final match in order to advance.
He's going to be feeling the energy after that win. I think there's a decent chance he could do it. It's going to be an insane best of 3, guys. Get your friends in the stream. First, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, the final match of Ryung versus Taja.
Becoming part of this is beautiful. Make it happen. It's up to you and me. Let's make our heaven. Don't be afraid of what it'll be. Is there anyone out there? Is there anyone out there? Anyone out there that can show us to the place we wanna be? Is there anyone out there? Anyone out there?
Every day, yum 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 yum, Yu-Gi-Oh! 대결의 룰을 아십니까? 승리한 자는 패배한 자의 트로피를 뺏습니다. 그리고 그의 자존심까지도. 클래시 로얄.
인형이 너의 슬픔을 씻어줄 것이다. RPG의 검은 획을 긋다. 크라이.
하계 스포츠 대회에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
내 뒤에서 먼지나 먹으시지.
기분 째지는데?
질서와 수호를 위해서라면
마귀 화염이.
누구도 나를 막을 순 없어. 방해하겠다면 전부 부숴주지.
나는 KT 기가 인터넷. 당신과 끊김없이 게임을 즐기죠. 어디서나 우린 함께해요. 어때요? 나랑 콜라보 하실래요? 당신의 KT.
친구끼린 역시 대달통. 배달의 힘 배달통.
중요한 것은 언제나 안개에 쌓여 있다. 그저 나아갈 뿐.
메이플 스토리 2 신규 직업 소울 바인더.
오호, 물로 지금 거의 뭐 수분을 그냥 갖다 들이붓는 것 같아요. 자, 바른 쪽과 안 바른 쪽입니다. 차에 보여드릴게요. 내가 발라봤는데 대표하네. 앞으로 그냥 나도 찍어 발라야 될 것 같아요. 잘 봐요. 자, 이렇게 깔끔하게 아래쪽만 다듬어도 선이 딱 살아있잖아요. 선 라인 자체가. 잠깐만. 이런 느낌이구나. 허허. 오늘 여러 가지 제품들 올리브영에서 제가 지금 제품을 받아서 사용을 해봤는데 굉장히 좋은 것 같아요. 올리브영 제품이 짱인 것 같습니다.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
기가 IoT 헬스. 올레 TV 켜고 퍼팅하고 바이크 타고 체지방 체크까지 실감나게 재밌다. 기가 IoT 헬스. 김지원의 KT.
How you star? Every day. 여기요.
네, 아프리카 TV와 함께하는 킹덤 스토리 연애의 신.
이거 사극을 찍는 것 같아요.
정말 안 어울립니다. 약간 왜소하고.
맞아. 위초고 3국 대결.
장비! 나이스! 나이스!
나 심쿵했어.
17,800원. 와! 군주는 무릎을 꿇을 수 있어요. 아, 뭐야, 이거 어떻게 보는 건데? 저에게는 간호 장비 같은 존재입니다. 진짜 유익한 게임이니까 여러분들 진짜로 많이 해보셨으면 좋겠습니다.
답답할 때 마셔봐요 트로피카나. 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링. 리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로 과즙이 톡톡 쏜다. 트로피카나 스파클링.
스타일? 상쾌하면 되는 거야. 상쾌함의 높이가 다르다.
Stylish sparkling water. 롯데 트레비.
메신저의 혁신이죠. 이런 실시간 라이브 움짤 기능은 지금 스노우앱에서밖에 없죠. 굉장히 많은 팬분들이 영상 메시지와 메신저를 보내주고 계십니다. 아프리카 원탑 역캠답게 이설이라고 메시지가 왔는데 길 가다 만나지 마라. 길 가다 만나지 말라고. 느낌 있죠? 리본 하나 찬 다음에 딸랑딸랑 고양이. 섹시합니다. 외쳐 스노우. 라마.
미소가 생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다.
pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0.
이제 모두 핑크하세요.
We are back at GSL Codas, where history is made every day, especially in that last one where Tasia was somehow, some way able to knock Zest out of the GSL.
It's games like that that are why this is my job, Valdez. Like, I live for those moments, and they only come around less frequently than Haley's Comet. We got to see and commentate one of the best games of GSL history, but Tasia, he survived, but he is not out yet. He has to play against Ryung, who's an incredible Terran versus Terran player. He advanced to the round of 16 off of Terran versus Terran alone. This is going to be, you know, another difficult challenge. I said Zest would be his hardest challenge. Zest chose him. Now, this is the only challenge he has left. It's not going to be easy, but there's no question. Like what you said earlier, the momentum is all Tasia's right now, and Ryung must be terrified.
Yeah, dude, I mean, Tasia all smiles. He was saying, you know, hey, I'm retiring. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to show great games for the fans. Everybody wants to see me play. And now he's actually got a shot. I'm not even sure if he knew this was going to happen himself, but he makes it work regardless. We're going to do this TBT 3 games in a row. I think it's going to go to game number 3 here. Just with after winning a game like that, you got to feel like, you know, the universe is behind you. Tasia, he's got to be feeling the energy. He's all smiles, super happy to just be down here playing StarCraft.
There's nothing to lose for this player. I mean, his fans want him out. But for Ryung, everything's on the line. MVP, poor showing in round 3. Who knows what's going to happen next year? How many GSLs will he have Pro League or not? This could be the last game we see of Ryung as well. I said this action when we cast it in the round of 32. This could be it for either of these players.
Could be. Let's jump into game number 1 now on Frozen Temple to begin the TBT. Up here in the top left, in the blue, making history tonight, it is
Tasia.
Seems to have picked up a couple of fans along the way.
Oh, no doubt.
As we get later on here in the night.
And his opponent to the bottom right.
MVP Chicken Maru.
You know, the other thing too, Valdez, these two players once teammates on Slayers. And during that time, Ryung was sent out in GSL specifically to snipe Terrans. And that Tasia will definitely remember, as he was the training partner of Ryung. I mean, fast forward 3 years later, here we are. Ryung's back in the GSL. Tasia getting consistent GSL placements, even though everyone was saying, okay, yeah, he won all the foreign tournaments, but can he compete at the hardest one in the world, the GSL? The answer is yes. He's defeated a champion already. And now if he defeats Ryung, he will get out of the group. His ex-teammate. This is pretty crazy where we're at here. I mean, this is the Cinderella story of groups. We're seeing a lot of fans here.
He came down to watch him retire in the round of 32, but he's not retiring. He's like, what's going on? Why does this guy keep winning? He said he was going to retire after the round of 32, didn't expect to get out of there. Now he's in the round of 16, and all of a sudden he's in a great spot to get out of here. And his fan is like, well, I guess I just get to keep watching him.
And that's true of all Tasia fans at home. I know you guys are watching. I want you guys to tweet about this, actually. If enough people tweet about this, the hashtag Tasia itself, or even just the word, could trend. Because this is such an important moment in his career, and there's so many of you passionate fans watching. Anyways, do make everyone aware of this final best of 3. But before we get too deep onto promoting this amazing tournament, it's pretty standard builds from these two guys. Slightly faster CC for Ryung.
We had two faster gas here from Ryung. I think that's Ryung down in the bottom right. Yeah, in the red.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, this trips me up some of these mirror matchups.
Yeah, and he got out a faster factory, but then he stopped mining gas, perhaps off of some. We were talking so much about Tej and Ryung. We kind of missed the early builds here. Sorry, guys, but you know, he's got his CC out here. Does have the earlier factory as well.
And yeah, the CC up here, obviously much earlier, but he's more vulnerable as a result. Ryung is going to do what he often has. In fact, in the games versus Alive and Dream, he should play like this. Aggressive Reaper attacks, harassment with the additional gas as he commits to the second Reaper almost every time when he goes for this build. Look at this. Heroes of the Storm Acer's Team Story Cup.
Here's the Storm, yeah.
Oh my god!
These guys have faced off a bunch of times in that other game.
I don't know why. It's just I do it. It's in my brain. I cast 2 games. Everyone hates me. I know for it, but
no, we all love you, Wolf.
But they don't love me for casting 2 games. They don't love me for casting this one. That's fine.
And some of those elitist fans, perhaps.
Anyways, I don't know the decision to give the same abbreviation for both games. I wouldn't have done that, but you know, I don't make millions of dollars and make amazing games like this, so. Anyway, 1 Reaper for a Hellion in total of dead units in this game. So let's see what happens next here. This is kind of in a passive mid-game, or excuse me, early game as we go towards the mid-game. Normally, one player will either go for a drop or a Banshee harass, but these 2 players have been so focused on their ground armies that they've kind of cut that out entirely. We might see a delayed Banshee here. Could be a fast Raven. Both are applicable, as Ryung doesn't have much vision as to what Tej is doing. He might go for the safe Raven, but no, aggro with the Banshee.
Okay, kind of interesting. There is already Viking out here for Tej. You see he was making a bunker too. I think that's because he saw the army of Ryung and he was like, hey, there might be a push coming here sometime soon. I just need to be careful. You know, 1 bunker, it's not too much of a commitment for sure.
These Marines need to be in position to protect this medevac because that's the only way he gets high ground vision. Unless he commits to a drop on top. Ooh, this does not work out very well. And Teja going to get an amazing trade here.
Yeah, Ryung losing the tank.
The medevac as well.
He was picking up the Marines. He couldn't pick up the tank and save it. You know, it was just a miss micro there, and he loses a lot of units.
The trade there at the end pretty decent for Ryung, especially because he committed to this Banshee. And whether scans have been saved or not will be really important here because he doesn't have turrets. He's making them now, though, as I say that. He's going for a 2-tank drop. Does get scouted. The turrets will be up just in time, as well as this Cyclone. So even though he didn't have the biggest Marine count, he should be totally safe here. In fact, this should not even scratch.
Even a Viking, too. 2 Vikings.
2 Vikings, yeah.
And a Cyclone and double turret. He is reading Ryung like a book. He knows this is coming.
And let's see how all this does. This lock-on is so important. So he's just going to get out of range.
Yeah, and medevac already taken a bit of damage somewhere else on the map. Here comes the first Banshee. And immediately a lock-on. Going to push that away. No problems there. Ryung not going to get any damage done.
Tanks come home. Second Banshee is coming out, but faster double eBay coming up here for Ryung, whereas we see Stim coming up for Tejas, so no mech in this game. That's a nice pickoff. 3 SCVs delaying 3 buildings. That's the best he could have really hoped for. The crowd goes wild with a Banshee snipe, but
yeah,
I mean, that's realistically
with
the
this
best
much
he could hope for.
preparation, you're going to get 3 SCV kills. That's great.
Yeah,
you know,
that's actually like that should go down like the highlight videos, like GSL top 20 games. Like this Banshee gets 3 kills.
This is like Maru level control right now. I mean, he's really finding damage anywhere and continuously making these Banshees. He is going to stop after 2 though. And just back off, getting 5 in total. And look at this.
He wants to beta scan so hard.
Yeah.
He's like, I dare you. I'm going to go into the high ground. I'm going to get out. Ooh, maybe even trying to force a fight here. It is scouted by these Vikings. Viking control is so important for things like this because it's hard to kill them.
Got any medevacs in that army? I only saw 2 Vikings. He's making 2 more back at home.
Yeah, I think you are right. I think you might have 1 max. We're not getting a shot of it, so I can't confirm for you guys.
Still no medevacs over there. And there is this drop coming. from Tasia. Looks like it's heading towards the main.
Ooh,
but
gonna get shut down hard though. Yeah, that should die.
Yep. There
Marine
you
gets
go.
out, but will die in 3 shots.
There you go.
Gets a scan, you know, because the part of that drops power is it gives vision, you know, it gets information. Third base timing is almost identical here. A lead in workers for Ryung. And he kind of just has, basically, he's ahead in every way, only slightly. And I think part of that goes to the harassment we saw, but also just kind of his macro has been on point in this game.
That's for sure. We are going to move into 3 base versus 3 base now, and it's so funny to get to this TVT because these guys, I mean, they probably were not even practicing that much for TVT, to be honest. Like, they, you know, each other, they are the weakest player in the group outside of themselves, right? Ryung and Tasia, like, definitely Zest and Hero were the big names coming into this group, so they're, like, preparing so much for TVP, and they both showed great games in TVP, right? But now it's they got to play this TVT, and it's not looking like the cleanest TVT we've ever seen, and maybe that's because they haven't practiced, you know, 100% of the time for the TVT. Of course, they were preparing a lot for a different matchup, and
sure,
it's really going to come down to, you know, who's, you know, just going to play better here, I suppose. Who's prepared better for TVT in the past.
I mean, I think that the important thing to know is, I mentioned this before, Ryung, you know, got into the round of 16 off of TVT alone in his round of 32 group. So at least he's got his TVT like fingers, you know, flowing. He's feeling it.
Recent, you know, televised matches of TVT, whereas Tasia, he defeated Sue and Ragnarok, I believe. So that's 2 TVZs. That's not even a matchup that we see all too often because Zergs haven't been doing all too great here in Korea.
Not a single one in this group. So
yeah. So Tasia definitely, in terms of, you know, practice and preparation for this matchup, could be a bit of an underdog here.
Definitely so. Look at the spawning Marine, the Banshee here as well to give further vision, and he might even try to go for some snipes on these building SCVs. The building SCV is always the ones that are vulnerable because they're not going to be building on top of turrets. This is the medevac trying to keep the SCVs alive a little bit longer.
Wow.
And while he moves away, here comes a siege up onto these refineries. He's trying to get that gas mining denied, but may have overextended quite a bit here with these Vikings especially.
Loses his Vikings, but wins on the ground, and these Banshees still getting a decent bit of damage. Still shelling that gas, does take it out.
Oh boy, this is a tough position for Tasia. Any positive trait or even neutral trait for Ryung is an advantage for him as he's, you know, 30 army supply up right now.
Look at those units. He's got 30 more Marines. That is just so many more Marines.
He's just macroing better in this game, and he's so good at TVT. He's got a knack for it. He was famous for it. In Heart of the Swarm, you know, he didn't do as well on TVT, and Legacy of the Void at the beginning, everyone's saying, well, I mean, Wolf keeps saying the TVT sniper, but he has bad stats. Not in the GSL, though, with the group he just won. He's shown his TVT prowess, and he's looking to show it again here as well. Stimming, going for this bunker. Meanwhile, a disaster over here. He loses several units, so Tasia definitely winning this trade. This was not a neutral trade for Ryung.
And look at this on the chase now with a bunch of Marines. Snipes a medevac with a tank in it. You know, but Ryung, even though he doesn't take the best trades here, he still has his 4th base up. It does get scanned by Tasia now. And Tasia's still, you know, attempting to break out of his base, essentially. He's been on the defense here for quite a while. And generally in Legacy of the Void, the TVT, like the better TVT players are the ones that are more active, that are putting on the pressure, that are doing the damage themselves instead of just defending, and then going out and attacking. That's not generally the way we see the Terrans win.
He also has more production in total, which is, you know, allowing him to refresh these Marines quicker, even with neutral trades like I'm talking about. This is actually going to be a disaster here for Tasia. This might actually be game-ending, in fact, as he just didn't have enough.
It's that game of chicken, too. Ryung, he got his tanks down first, and Tasia, he bit the bullet. He's like, okay, let's go fight. But already one huge round from Ryung got onto all of those Marines, and here's the follow-up.
Yep, that's it. He's going to come over here with the other half of his army, and that should be it. The production is camped. These barracks coming up a little bit later. GG, Ryung.
Taking game number 1.
We'll see if Tasia can bring the fire back, though. He had so much momentum.
Yeah.
And for Ryung, this is going to be a really good feeling of, okay, all right.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing 150% versus me in that first game. I can outlast him. I can win this series. I can go on to the round of 8.
And Tasia, I mean, he was down a game against Zest when everybody was like, oh, I guess he's going to just go out 0-4. Boo-hoo. Here we go, our fan favorite. But he clawed his way back in that series against Zest. He can do it here against Ryung. I mean, if you can beat the best player in the world in a best-of-3, you can do it here against Ryung as well. I don't care how good his CVT is. So we are going to be jumping into Dusk Towers now. It's a bit of a bigger map here.
Yeah, this is definitely one where you can't make aggressive moves like that as easily. There's not a good angle for Ryung to siege like he did in that previous set. Tasia needs to bring the fire, though. He had a great response to the Banshees, but his macro was a little bit slow. He was a bit lethargic in that game. No pressure, as you mentioned. The only pressure he tried to put on was that one drop that Ryung scouted, and then that was the two-tank drop.
So hard, yeah.
So he needs to do more, or Ryung, the master of this matchup, will knock him out despite his miracle performance versus Est.
Yeah, so let's jump into set number 2 now on Dusk Towers, see if Tasia can pull it back, or if Ryung will advance in second place. Here we are on Dusk Towers in the bottom left, the blue Terran, he is.
Tasia.
He's got the whole crowd behind him now.
And his opponent, 1-0 in the series.
MVP Chicken Maru, Ryung.
One win away from yet again winning a Terran versus Terran to advance out of his group in his first time in the GSL in 3 years. Tasia on his last life, but it's not the first time in this tournament. Hello from Russia. Thanks for coming. So let's see how this one goes, man. The hype that we've been putting into this match is real, but I mean, this is it. This is really it. This is not, okay, he could get out or he wins, but he still has another chance. No, this is actually it. The last life period. And Ryung moves on and the group ends. And Tasia's reign as the most successful overseas tournament player, you know, that's what he's known for. His pro gaming career ends.
Yeah. And we've been talking a lot about Tasia, but even just look at this for Ryung. Like, Ryung able to defeat Zest 2-1. It's obvious that Zest did not have the best day today. A lot of people saying a bit of overconfidence, you know, just a bit of cockiness even. I've been seeing a lot of comments on Twitter, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, Ryung, though, he gets through. He forces his way into the final match, you know, and he makes it in over Zest as well. If he can take out Tasia here, getting round of 8, just in his situation as well, is going to be pretty fantastic. So, good stories from either side, for sure.
Now, in this game, build-wise, Ryung is again taking the more aggressive path, whereas Tasia is taking the backdoor CC a little bit safer on this map. The rush distance is much longer, so Ryung coming across the map, if he had committed to double Reaper, would take a little bit longer, but he's not, I think because he knows that. And is just going to be taking up faster to the factory into the starport. In fact, skipping the Reaper entirely, as far as I can tell, back at home. So we'll see. Okay, just going up straight into 3 Marines. 4th one about to pop out here, and he's going to do the Hellion variation. Still, Banshee's a very high possibility with how much gas he's built up, but it could also be the drop. I mean, both are very viable. The drop comes faster. Scout attempt here for Tasia is denied.
Yeah, nice positioning there on his Marines. Even does have that wall to block off the middle path as well. And it is going to be some sort of drop. We'll see what he wants to put in the medevac and what he wants to go by ground here, because he's going to have 1 Hellion, 1 Widowmine, and he does have the 4 Marines, so maybe that's the drop. But there's like a couple of extra Marines that are not quite there. So it's probably going to be the 6 Marines and 1 Widowmine. And maybe the Hellions by ground here.
Oh, the scan, let's see it. Sees the drop and sees the Widowmine.
Wow.
Great
he actually
scan.
pulls that right into the scan. He's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Not much of a choice there. Once the Widowmine pops out, he knows. But still going to be tough to defend. He's getting his own medevac out, and the Cyclone is really going to be the crux of this. Obviously, a drop coming this fast. And with the build that Tasia chose, he's not going to have an eBay. The Cyclone, if it can lock onto the medevac, will stop the attack, but he still needs to make sure his units are in the right spot. If they're in the main and he hits the back, this is a problem. And this might be what we see right here, right now. It looks like the units are in the main. Cyclone's not ready. Here we go. Drop coming off. And that Widowmine could get a good shot.
Widowmine not able to burrow just yet. It's just running away. It looks like he's going to abort the mission. Fox try to get out here.
Cyclone comes so quickly, too. It's got such a fast move speed. From the main to the natural, it responds very quickly.
And look at this. We got Banshees with Cloak once again at a similar timing, but Tasia taking it very serious this time, going to go for a Raven even first.
He wants more thorough coverage. Last time he had so many turrets, and he had scans saved, and he defended the first wave, but his third CC was delayed. His production was delayed by these Banshees. They got 5 kills at times in the middle of fights on the refineries, just sitting at the back, out of turret range, and Tasia just was not able to multitask as quickly. So this is a cool little move he can do, but he won't be able to do it for much longer. He needs to pick these Marines up.
Cute harassment,
Yeah.
See if this damage can, or rather this drop can do any damage. Nope. There are units right here ready to go for Ryung. Here is the first Banshee making its way across the map. There is a turret already.
Cloak lines up with this, and
Cyclone is out of position for the back door.
I don't think this will find damage, but he may be able to escape with it because the Cyclone's out of position, so that's still a nice benefit here for Ryung. And in fact, it looks like he didn't even try. Oh, no, here it comes.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, this is almost certainly a dead Banshee if he sticks around much longer.
Gonna get 1 kill, 2 kills, and now it locks on, and with the Raven
chasing, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
there you go.
It is. Down it goes.
Shot.
Nice pick up there for Tasia. That Raven really helping out here, really paying off in this fight.
Ooh. Getting greedy, trying to snipe that Raven too with those Marines. Double E-base for both players coming up around the same time. And the stim is faster for Tasia. This is significant only if we see an early skirmisher on the map, or maybe if a drop comes in while stim is done for Tasia. For example, he could defend easier or attack easier. But at this differential, it's not going to be too big of an issue either way. Ryung, I believe, has those E-base. He's not using them. He's focused on this Banshee right now, so he's going to get behind in upgrades just slightly. But again, looking for the production. There's no Raven nearby. He has one, but he needs to send it over. And finally, there it goes in. He should get the kill again.
Yeah, especially with the Viking here.
Down it goes.
Down it goes, only getting 2 kills once again.
It's almost as miraculous as the 3 kills he got the last game that he shouldn't have gotten, but gets even that Widow Mine here. He's on point with the defense in this game.
Yeah, he's just got to follow it up with just better macro play, just more solid mid-game TVT play. Again, just not really any medevacs in this army. He is making 1 now. I think he's beginning to realize that he really needs to put some sort of pressure on this game.
Okay, lock-ons here both on Hellions, so both Cyclones live. Again, the stim I was talking about, 10 seconds till it's done, but nothing to be done with it. This is as close of a game as you can get, basically, with supplies. But a faster group of tanks moving across the map here for Ryung, which looks like why he has the later upgrades. This could be an opportunity for Stem to get damage done. I mean, just a few more seconds, he has that advantage. He could jump on the tanks with it.
Yeah, we talk about how, even if you are behind, you can take different fights.
Oh,
Look at
this fight is so good for Ryung! He's got the high ground, he has control of the air, but it turns here for just a moment as those Vikings overextend. Here's the scan to punish. And
this is what I was talking about. You have to be so careful when you go out in the middle of the map. TVTs are decided by bad engagements and good engagements. You need to make sure that you know where the enemy is and how to engage them.
Risky moves like this get punished. And he's going to lose every Marine if the tanks drop down. There they go. Okay, it looks like 2 get out. Nope. They'll get cleaned up. And even this is a bit sloppy from Tasia. He's falling apart.
Yeah, he's just trying to A-move into these tanks here.
He's going to get that reactor sniped as well. And the Marines can't protect.
He's got no air control, It's just these Vikings taking pot shots at the medevacs who can't pick up the tanks because of it, and they can't really fight. Look at this army now.
Yeah,
it's moving
much
across
larger.
the map.
Much larger from the trades we saw earlier. The macro from Ryung is on point. I don't know if we saw repair on that reactor or not, because normally when you and I cast Starlight, we have another computer, but here we don't. So I'm used to be like, Brendan, give me the info, but not so much right now. I think the reactor actually lived, just looking at the mini-map, so that's huge.
I don't think it was burning down.
He needs that production. He needs to sustain his production. He needs to have better macro than in the following game. He's getting his barracks faster this time, which is important. He will actually have the better production as a result. He's ahead by 2 SCVs, and it looks like he started to hit the production hard, catching up in supply here. This drop is going to be a problem, though, again. He's lucky there's no Vikings with it.
Yeah, coming in here, stimming in. Tasia will eventually respond to this, and in fact, take out one of the medevacs. The other one does slip away, but trading 5 SCVs for that. Tasia does have a faster fourth base, which is nice. You know, if he can get that up and running, this is a very big map. This game is not over by any means.
Yeah, and again, he has the faster production. Nice snipe attempt there by Tasia. You know, it didn't work out, but I got to respect moves like that. Doesn't get the tank. Backs away. Let's hope that this time, this isn't the last drop we see from him, because last time we went for that first drop, he was never able to do anything after that. This sensor tower is definitely going to make it a lot harder. Cyclone gets taken out here. Tasia will secure that fourth you were talking about, uncontested. And this should be shut down. There's several units here to defend this time.
An immediate pickup. He's trying to snipe that medevac. It does get away. And what that drop really was on the map was to check the fourth base of Ryung. So he must be pretty happy about the fact that he saw nothing over there. I'm not sure if he checked the other fourth base location, which Tasia is actually putting his fourth base at.
Yeah, he just scanned the main base, I think, just a few seconds ago. Didn't see a CC. So he's not 100% sure if the fourth is there. At least I don't think so. He doesn't have a scout over there. This Marine gets shut down. This one's coming over. Should get shut down as well. He's right in that there's no fourth CC landed, but there is a fourth CC about to finish. Tasia's planetary will complete, which is really important. That's a great fortified location he can use. Stim forwards against this, not as effective. He needs to make sure that, you know, it's like you said, it's a game of chicken with the siege tanks. You need to make sure the tanks are on the ground first. It's a game of draw, basically, like this is the Wild West. And whoever loses this series is dead or out. So, very important moment here. Tasia again with a better production. He's 3 Marines up per cycle right now.
Oh, wow. That's kind of interesting. We already have
Oh, here we go. This could be it. Great splits and drops there by Ryung, but Tasia definitely going to get the better trade here.
And he's pushing in. The tanks are forced to move back, and Tasia taking a huge fight. He sees blood in the water. Is he going to go for it now?
The faster siege, the faster attack. Ryung, because he lost the siege, he had to split his Marines and hope for a defensive engagement. There's no way out of that, or you lose all your tanks. That was the best trade he could hope for. Very impressive response. But Tasia has a big advantage now. Let's see how he decides to use it. He is scanned here.
He's got to be so careful about how he takes this fight. You need the vision. He's going to go for the high grounds here. And you see already Ryung lifts it off.
This is a huge economic lead, though, for Tasia. He's now got 14 Marines per cycle in production. He has double upgrades coming, too. Ryung has neglected his armor upgrade right now. He's actually starting another CC as he knows he can't control this location anymore. Now, in TBT, if you win a big fight, you win the game, and both players are close to max. So it's okay that he's not mining right now, but he can still max off the money that he has.
He's got this other base over here, too. This is what I was talking about. He actually floated his main to the other fourth base and made the CC at the other one. Here we go again. Dropping out the tanks first is Tasia. Gets a huge shot there on all the Marines.
I feel like Ryung could have dropped there, but he didn't have the confidence. His army was smaller, and he didn't have a good angle. Okay, he's going to try to trap this army, though. Let's see if this works. A huge gambit here for Ryung. I don't think this is going to work out, but he catches some tanks from behind. But this army is going for the throat right now. Ryung needs to make all the right choices here. He's coming for a flank on the right side. He's indecisive, though. He can't catch any of these tanks, and another CC goes down.
It's a great position there by Tasia because Ryung has to do this weird crescent-shaped move if he wants to have any choice, any chance of fighting this army. He takes out that CC, as you were saying.
Okay. Now he just needs to go home. Going forward here would be so ballsy. He's getting got in this choke point, but he barely stims most of his Marines away. Still a huge trade for Ryung. He has the army advantage here for a little bit longer. 60 to 53 Marines. I mean, this is as tight as it gets. And it looks like they're going to disengage away from each other. But the big winner here is Tasia because he sniped that orbital. And we're now really left with 3 base to 4.
Oh, another drop down here from Ryung. He gets the first drop.
Oh, this actually could be too much damage. Tasia is sustaining here. 20 supply up now. Several tanks do escape. Tasia has that economy. He's got a huge chunk of minerals. 15 a cycle here. 3-3 going to finish. The +3 armor upgrade going to be done a little bit faster here.
The only thing is that Tasia needs to take that other base. Finally, he floats over to the 5th base location. But Ryung was, you know, he had that other base mining, so he was kind of, you know, he was holding on. And Tasia's been very comfortably mining from this base for a long time, as you guys can see.
Tasia is just in such a dire situation right now. He needs to buy time. 3-3 is about to finish for him.
This push right here. 3-3, as you were saying, going to help out drastically.
I don't think he can get the angle to defend, although he's going to try. Here he comes. And it looks like Ryung turns around at the last second. That could have been a game-deciding move. It could have been a group-deciding move.
TVT is insane, man. It just comes down to these crazy engagements. Who gets the drop on the tanks first? And, you know, you see scans going down all the time. These players trying to outposition each other.
It's one of the most stressful matches to play as a pro gamer, this matchup, but also as a spectator, one of the most fun to watch as a result. Scans here are so important. I talk about this all the time in a live play, so scans are on point. Both players here constantly gaining information. This is a small, tiny move that gets so much value for Marines. 200 minerals of value to deny 3 patches of minerals. These small moves do a lot.
Yeah, and you force your opponent to respond if he wants to keep mining there, which can get him out of position. And that's why you see Ryung trying to scan and see what's his response here. How do I engage from here? Tasia keeping it cool, staying calm. Oh, look at this, though.
Nice move. He has to repair. These Marines will get killed. But this is a positional opportunity for Ryung. It looks like he's not going to take it.
Oh, he's making a move now. He's thinking about it.
Oh, there he goes. He's spotted, though. The scan comes up. Will he commit to this? I think it would be a mistake. He backs off. Okay, now he's going to commit. It's the game of chicken. Huge stems on both sides and no drops.
There's some tanks over here.
He has some seeds up already. Ryung is going to go ahead and commit. Tasia has the better angle here, but his Marines can't come down the ramp.
Oh, there's not enough Marines here as well, and the tanks of Ryung win out in the end, and all the Marines do survive. He's taking too much.
Well played.
Ryung goes off in 2-0 and will be the second player to come out of this group and advance on to the round of 8.
There you have it. One decisive move like that. Better positioning, arguably, for the tanks. He had several tanks on the low ground to help slow that push down. But his Marines couldn't come down the ramp. They got caught by the tanks. They got stuck there. And it was just a better tank count for Ryung overall after he sniped those first initial tanks. Respect shown here, given.
For sure, man.
And this is it for Tasia. But I have to say, we'll probably see him again, maybe in another game. Maybe he comes back to StarCraft 2 later.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's still relatively young. You know, he's hanging on there. We'll see if he goes over to something like Heroes of the Storm or Overwatch. I'm not even sure. I have no idea myself. But I mean, just shout outs to that guy. He put on a fantastic performance tonight. He really deserves props. But the winner tonight, the second player to get out of the group, is Ryung.
We're going to take a look at his interview. So big upset here. Ryung takes it, gets out of the group in second place. Congratulations, says Guri. I actually expected I would face a Protoss in the final match. I'm surprised that Tasia was actually the one who I faced in that 5th deciding match. But I was kind of scared because it's Tasia, you know. Even though he's retired, he doesn't practice that much. He's just such a talented player. So I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And he couldn't show his full skill in that final TVT.
부담하다기보다 그냥 다행이다는 생각을 하고 있고요. 근데 연습하면서 너무 힘들어가지고 그냥 보상을 받았다는 느낌을 그냥 가지고 있고.
I'm very relieved that I was able to advance. I really prepared very hard for today's matches. I think I was repaid in full for all the practice and all the effort I put in getting ready for this. We said it, you know, he showed really great preparation. For sure. So for this next part, he's basically saying he actually hurt his body and got a little bit sick. And he had aches from exercising before this, so trying to get buff in and outside of the game, but got some injuries. So you defeated Zest, the defending champion, in the first match. I knew that I could actually win one best of 3 because I prepared so hard for specific builds for Zest, as we said earlier. It's coming true here in the interview. And he used all his special builds in the first matchup. So that's why I ended up losing to Hero in the winner's match, as he was kind of already used most of his tricks. Couldn't beat Hero in the straight-up series.
제가 만든 건 아니고 여러 선수들이 쓰는 걸 보고 따라한 거고 그리고 경제가 정말.
So the use in the third game I played against Hero, the third build, I actually copied that build from other pro gamers. It's not mine. Gumiho is the most famous for doing this build. I've watched him play a lot, and I learned a lot from watching him. We talked about this in the cast. You know, Gumiho is so famous for this. I tried to win with the build, but I couldn't finish him off.
자극이 됐다기보다는 그냥 어차피 제가 만약에 딴 데 있었어도 제가 프로토스여도 저를 뽑았을 거예요. 그래서 그 심정은 충분히 이해하고.
So I know that all the Protoss players are choosing me in the group selection. He said if I were Protoss, I would have picked me too in the group selection. So he gets it.
이런 마음 없으셨어요?
He joked earlier that he was sad that he was chosen before Tasia, but he says he gets it here.
무섭진 않았고 오히려 이름값에는 영서가 더 제가 생각하기엔 부담이 많이 컸어요. 근데 다행히
I wasn't really afraid that it was Zest or Heroes facing. I was afraid of the race itself, Protoss. But actually, if you look at Tasia, I mean, he's really the scarier player just looking at his name alone.
Yeah, if you just look at IDs, it's like, which of the three is the scariest? He says Tasia.
Yeah.
영서가 생각보다
So tell us about the final match against Tasia. What are your thoughts? I knew he was going to play well tonight.
근데 제가 많이 위축돼서
But I don't think he practiced TVT as much as he practiced the TVP matchup. So he just tried to play standard, and I was better prepared. And I play the better standard TVT, and that's how I want it.
조금 더 훨씬 더 그 높은 목표가 욕심이 날 것 같은데.
So now your goals must have been risen higher from this victory. He said, obviously my goal is to become a champion. Every player's goal is to be a champion. I just have to take them these matches one at a time on my road to being champion. I know that even more difficult players, more difficult challenges lie ahead, but I'm not even satisfied with my performance tonight. I'm going to be practicing starting from tonight to move forward and get ready. It's been 600 days since I went out with my girlfriend. I couldn't really date her recently because I've been practicing so hard.
축하한다고 말하고 싶고요.
아 그러면 이렇게 지나가면 안 되죠. 제대로
So,
축하.
Yuri congratulates him.
여자친구에게 메시지 기회를 드리겠습니다. 카메라 보고
Ryung says
여자친구에게
congratulations and thank you for always being beside me to his girlfriend.
게이머 만나면서 정말 쉽지가 않거든요. 게이머 여자친구 한다는
So,
게. 그래서
I know it's hard to be the girlfriend of a pro gamer,
처음엔 많이 힘들어했지만 지금
but I'm very thankful that you're very understanding of me and the challenges I face.
몰래 오는 거 항상 안 들키고 오면 좋을 텐데 뭘
And thank you for coming to the studio to cheer for me.
아쉽고 네 사랑한다는 말 하고 싶어요.
And I just want to say I love you.
승리와 함께 멋진 사랑의 메시지까지 전달하는 김동원 선수인데요.
There you have it.
앞으로 계속해서 기대해 보겠습니다.
Ryung, the charmer of women.
네, 일단 뭐 참가하는 선수들
So,
중에서
actually, one more last question. It's your first round of 8 in 4 years.
운도 따라주면은
I know, actually, out of all the players in Kodes, I'm one of the players who practice the most. And I know that if I get just a little bit lucky, I could win this tournament. And I do want to thank my coaches.
효정이 덕분에 이렇게 높게 올라온 것 같아서 네. 고맙다고 말하고 싶습니다.
And I think they actually played a very large role in my success. So that's it. He says thank you as Gary congratulates him one last time. Ryung, 4 years as a round of 8, an OG pro gamer like Tasia, but he's the one who advances tonight.
We're going to take a look at the results. Yes, if you are joining us only now, shame on you, but also you missed Tasia taking out Zest 2-1 in that losers match. See, Ryung also took out Zest in the first match we had tonight. So we got to see the winners match between Hero and Ryung, which Hero did win. Now we're just taking a look at the brackets so far for the round of 8. So Hero is going to go up against the second place player of Group B. Ryung is going to go up against the first place player from Group B. That Group B is stacked though.
It is so stacked.
It's got Young, it's got Dark, it's got SOS, and one other player. There it is, Kira.
So, super stacked group. It does have a team kill in it as well. But guys, this is going to be on Friday. Mark your calendars as Tasia was eliminated. Byun is the only teamless player left in this tournament. He nearly got out of his Star League group, but he wasn't able to do it. As Tastosis are currently traveling, well, we will be commentating that on Friday as well, so look forward to it.
It's going to be a sick group. I was so happy we got to come down here and cast this one. It was full of surprises, upsets here and there. Lots to go through, but in the end, Hero and Ryung do get out. Great stories all around. Hero, he needs to make the finals in order to make it to BlizzCon, so that is huge. He needs that for the points. And also, Ryung making it through to his first round of 8 in 4 years. It's unbelievable.
Do send your messages to Tasia on Twitter. I know he reads that a lot. He posts there a lot. He'd love to hear from you guys. has been a pro gamer since the beginning. Whenever someone retires like this, it's always a sad moment. But it's his choice, the choice he made, and he showed us amazing games. Really happy with his performance tonight as well. So definitely hit him up on Twitter and let him know what you guys think.
Yeah, also tune into SSL tomorrow. I think that's going to be me and Rapid casting that one.
That's right.
We'll be busy doing other stuff, and of course the GSL on Friday. But that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks once again for joining us. We love you. Good night.